the Andy Snowden radio show. It's the Andy Snowden radio show. It's the Andy Snowden radio show. It's the Andy Snowden radio show.
Right, what is there you can go and see, I wonder?
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. 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 I'm going downtown tonight. What's going on?
So, over the years, there's been hundreds of different adaptations in one way or another of Mary Shelley's classic novel Frankenstein. But to my knowledge, there's not been one that features the writer. Well, until now. And award-winning writer Rona Munro has done just that with a brand new theatrical adaptation, placing Shelley in the central role. She's played by Scottish screen actress Eilidh. And before we hear from the lady herself, here she is playing the part of Mary Shelley.
Take flour, water, dead things, things without life, mix them together, leave them in a cupboard, and what'll happen? Life. Oozing, greedy, clamouring life will grow on that saucer. The stuff of life. The power to make dead things move is all around us. You are breathing in that dark energy with every breath. So this is not a horror story. This is science. This is fiction, but fiction holds up a better mirror to the world than any list of facts.
So there you go, that is Eilidh. She is playing Mary Shelley in this brand new adaptation of Frankenstein, coming to Theatr Clwyd on the 27th of January, just for 1 week only. And yesterday I had a chat with her about this brand new production, and we discussed everything, all the important issues, as you'll imagine, including mental health, politics, and of course life on the road, which is exactly where we started. So here we go then, sit back and enjoy Eilidh on the stage and screen show, Calon FM.
How is life on the road? Is it a good place to be?
Oh, it's great. You're going to these cities that, well, certainly I haven't been to before, like, it's a great time up in Liverpool, and we did the Cavern Club, and, you're getting to just see places that you haven't been, which is just brilliant, whilst being on some famous stages in the night time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've always thought that about touring, because you can either you become a little tourist yourself, don't you, or you can just sort of sit back and just do the job. You can take it either way, but yeah.
I felt I've been a tourist even in my own city. Like, I was in Glasgow, and I was doing things during the day that I've gone to the Science Museum. I was like,
yeah,
the difference as a kid.
Yeah. So where were you for Christmas? Were you away for Christmas, or?
Went back home, so yeah, I'm from Glasgow, so I was seeing family a lot of the time back home, which was lovely to be home, because being away from home for about 4 years now, been at drama school and things like that, so it's nice just to be back and spend some time with them. So they came to see it at closing night in Glasgow, and then we were just home over Christmas, which was lovely. Yeah,
excellent. So has being an actress, was that always on your agenda? Was that always on your radar as a child even?
Yeah, it has been. I've been, in a very fortunate position to always know what I wanted to do, and have, an amazing family that have always been so encouraging and took me into drama groups and stuff like that, because I think they all knew that I could talk for Scotland, so they were like, right, well, we need to do something.
Yeah.
Very encouraging parents and grandparents as well, who, were just always so supportive, because it's such a tough industry, and, financially it's always been very difficult, but, they are just the most amazing people in the world, and I owe a lot of where I am today to my family.
But the arts in Glasgow seems to be just growing daily. But you chose to train in London, right?
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely love what the theatre community and also the TV and film industry is doing up in Scotland. I think it's amazing. For me, I was I just wanted to have that little bit of experience about what it was to live away from home.
Yeah.
I think I'd have just got too comfortable in the luxury of living in home with mum and dad, and you're washing and you're cooking for you. So it was a real eye-opener for me to go to London and to experience what it was to live on your own and have that experience, and it definitely makes you grow up a lot quicker.
Yeah, it certainly does. Did you take to London okay? Did you settle there all right? Took me a while.
Yeah, it took me a while. Definitely took me a while coming from just outside of Glasgow, and then when I was in Guildford as well, so it wasn't, I definitely made the right choice going to Guildford, just outside of London, and then did London when I graduated. But it's an amazing place. It's constantly busy, but you definitely need to get your head space at times as well. So getting back to Scotland is definitely important for me.
Well, I found it a bit of a culture shock both ways, because I come from a small sort of village in North Wales, not far from Theatr Clwyd, where you're about to play, actually.
Yeah.
And so moving down to London was a massive culture shock. But then once I got used to that and I came back again, and I couldn't get my head round a village. It was just like, you're so used to being able to order pizza at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Funny, isn't it, when you go back into your hometown pub and you've still got Billy sitting in the same stool with the same pint and the same hat, and you're like, you've not moved for 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. But while you were in college, and I read that you won the Alan Bates Award. That's incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was brilliant. It was such an honour to graduate with that award. And it was an amazing time. It was like a full process of auditions for that. So you auditioned over, a couple of months.
Yeah.
You got to meet a whole load of actors throughout the process, and some of them I've gone on to work with and other little projects on the side, and some of them became right good pals of mine. So it was an amazing award to just meet other graduates, not just from your own drama school. So I was very, very fortunate enough to go through that experience, and then my dad got to come down and watch the final, which was a really special moment for him. So
fantastic.
It was brilliant.
Yeah. And it all kind of makes it worthwhile when it starts to pay off a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, do you know, the hard work is, I absolutely love it. And, it comes from a background. My dad's a tradesman, he's a builder, so he's the hardest worker I know. And I think very fortunate he's passed that mindset on to me. And when you start seeing it paying off, and there's nothing better than coming back to your parents' house with a little certificate, or saying that you've got a part in something, and smile on their faces. It's all worth it. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, talking of hard work, I mean, I don't think I've spoken to a harder working person in the last few years. I mean, you're an actress, you're a writer and a director. I mean, you're a triple threat, right?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the writing thing I'm very dyslexic, so I never thought writing was something that I'd ever sort of get into until I went to drama school, and I always loved, the creative side of telling stories and writing, but I was really put off it when I was younger because of my dyslexia, and went to drama school, and they were so encouraging about creating your own work, and I just loved the idea of writing alongside. And when you're not acting and you don't have, an acting job, it's creating those things for yourself that are still stimulating your passion, and still having those projects on the side that are keeping you creative. And there's nothing better than sitting down and writing something. So it's really brilliant. And then directing as well is just something that again came alongside writing. So the amount I've learned from other directors and writers with stuff that I've worked on and just filtered it into my own stuff has been brilliant.
Because when I went to drama school, I wouldn't say I couldn't read, but I was really, I kind of read like a child in a way. I just sort of read word after word after word, and I couldn't string a sentence together. And this is when I was 18, 19. So it was while I was actually in drama school that I would say that I learned to read, and so I mean I'm kind of with you on that one, because people just assume that you go to drama school to learn to act.
I think that's why it's so important they fund. I know there's so many cuts. I've got a younger sister who doesn't even have drama as a subject at school. And I think it's just such a shame, because it's lessons like that in the education system, drama and sort of extracurricular classes that like drama clubs do in plays, and not just drama schools, but in the education system, or high schools and things like that, are so important, because that's when you really put those skills into place. I'm the same as you. I couldn't. They would skip. I would be sitting in an English class and they would skip me because they knew I couldn't read aloud.
Yeah.
They would go, no, we'll just skip Eilidh because she can't read properly.
Yeah.
Next person. And the confidence, I had no confidence in reading at all until I went to drama school, when they told me, you're going to get better at doing this.
Yeah.
It's not even just if you want to be an actor, it's skills for life. I mean, my pal's a lawyer, and he had to go back and do drama lessons to get his confidence up, and it's just so important that, you know, it's filtered into education. It's something I'm really passionate about, is how we really strive for that.
Yeah, but I don't think it's taught as a skill in school. I think it's taught as something that you have to be able to do, otherwise you're kind of branded a bit thick if you can't do it. But the more you do it, that you just, I mean, that's like any skill, I suppose. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Exactly, absolutely. I found myself just picking up anything and reading the back of it, just so that I wasn't going into school and getting made fun of for not being able to read.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here now and I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I got for Christmas. And as a kid, I could never imagine getting 6 books for Christmas. No one would have bought me a book. But I just love reading now. And on the writing side of things, for you, working with Rona Munro now with Frankenstein must have been is a dream come true, isn't it?
I can't even begin to tell you. Honestly, she's one of the most amazing ladies that I have ever met, let alone had the chance to work with. She is just phenomenal, and you know, as an actor and reading Rona's work at drama school, and when I knew that I wanted to go down the acting route, and hearing, you know, Rona's work, because she's such an amazing writer, and being a Scottish writer as well, she was something that was a huge influence, you know, on the type of work that I was reading and the type of work that I was wanting to go and watch. And then to find out that she was doing this adaptation of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley was, you know, narrating the show, and you know, she was going to be in the rehearsal rooms and things like that. Oh my goodness, I was buzzing. I was absolutely buzzing. It took me about 3 weeks before Rona would come in a room, and I would just be like, my heart would be racing. I'd be like, hello, Rona, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just laughing at me because I was just so starstruck. I just think she's such an incredible woman, and she's just so kind and caring, and she cares so much about not only her work but the people involved in her work, and I've just had this immense privilege of being able to work with her.
Because I mean, that's the weird thing about this business. I mean, you can admire somebody, and the next minute you're working with them, and it just completely freaks you out a bit.
Oh, honestly, she's just incredible.
But Frankenstein, I mean, we better start talking about that actually, because it's a classic story. There's no doubt in that. It's been done many times and pretty much every way, but I'm not sure it's ever been done in the way that you just described, with Mary Shelley as the central character. Can you describe a bit of it to us?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting. I mean, you see Mary go on this emotional journey of what it is to create the Frankenstein that we all know and love or are terrified by, and she goes on this journey, and you see this writer at the young age that she was, 18 years old, go through. She manipulates the characters, almost like puppets the characters about the stage, and you see the two sides to her, the side that she has with Frankenstein, the relationship she has with him, and the relationship she has with the monster, which is very, very interesting, that the three of them are sort of caught in this triangle of creation. Yeah, it's brilliant. You just get to run about the set, and you know, you're just in this, encapsulated in this world of her sort of library, and you're in these different places like the Arctic and Frankenstein's lab, and just see this, you know, this creation just come to life and off of her pages. Which is fantastic, and she's in this amazing leather jacket, which I get to put on every night, and it just makes you feel like a rock star, which I believe she was.
Well, I was listening to Rona speak a few months ago, actually, about Frankenstein, and she was saying it's rather politically. She was a rather politically minded individual, for 1818, an 18-year-old girl to be politically minded is quite unusual.
Yeah, I mean, she's an inspiration, you know, to a lot of young women and a lot of young men and women, and it's been fantastic to see the young people, drama clubs or things that we've had come and watch the show, and how they've really connected with it. The because I think, like, even myself, not being a big reader and being very intimidated by reading, you know, people put classic literature on such a pedestal, and Frankenstein definitely sits up there. And what Rona's so brilliantly done is really brought it back to what the story's about, and, you know, who wrote this novel, and it was an 18-year-old girl, and made it really relatable to younger audiences. And it's been fantastic to see how inspired they are by this woman and by the story, because some of them, it's their first experience in theatre or their first experience with Frankenstein itself. So it's been really, really brilliant just to see how much they've connected with it.
Yeah.
She's a remarkable woman, and she has so much history to her, and the political side to her is just fantastic. And, you know, she has been described as the sort of rock star of her time, and that's so relatable to our generation today. And it's just important that, you know, especially young women can see a role like Mary on stage, you know, a strong, passionate, powerful young woman, and really take away, you know, her morals from what she does in the show.
I mean, it seems like a very good time to be doing it, actually, because, I mean, if you think about, you know, a modern day sort of Greta Thunberg, I mean, the grief that kid takes, and she's obviously a really, really clever individual, and people can't get past the fact that she's so young and she knows so much, which kind of, it sort of emulates a Mary Shelley, really, of her day.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, Greta's 16, and it's, you know, age has no relevance, you know, and I think it's the same thing that Mary was 18, and it's like patronised because she's so young, and people tend to forget the fact that she was so young because it's, you know, defined as such a classic text. And it's getting back to the roots of things and going, yes, she was a woman writing at a time where women didn't write, let alone write the material she was writing. And yes, she was an 18-year-old woman, and it's incredible. And allowing young people to take power of that and take power of literature like that, I think it's just been brilliant.
It's been described, your production has been described as championing feminism. Is that a fair description?
I think so, yeah. And in a really positive, powerful way. It's really lovely to see strong characters that are also vulnerable, and we also see them struggle but come through their own journey, and women taking ownership of their creativity. And it's amazing to see that at the centre of the stage. And, you know, Mary has the political speeches, Mary has the heartfelt big monologues, which usually, and it's amazing as well because the men usually get those monologues, which is fantastic, but it's lovely just to have the women have this political drive behind it. And we need to see more roles like that in theatre for women, especially young women. You know, we want to see this wave of, you know, new writing, or if it's new adaptations of things from women from history.
Absolutely. And just on a technical level for yourself, being cast as an 18-year-old must be a kind of an ego boost we can all do with, isn't it?
You know, yeah, it's brilliant. You know, it's roles I really enjoy playing. I was chatting about it with one of my castmates earlier. I was like, you know, it's an absolute honour to be able to play the 16 to sort of 18 gap, because you've been through it all. You've played the teenager with the moody strops, and I definitely was the teenager with the moody strops to my parents. And when I sometimes have to go for auditions for these characters, I'm going, Mum and Dad, I'm so sorry, because no, but it's such an honor. It really is. To play someone like Mary is just, and you know, it's an amazing job to begin with, but to do it with such an amazing company behind us, and to have worked with Rona as well. But it's just been a fantastic experience.
I've always, one more thing before you go. I mean, I've always thought that it's quite a difficult task to put a horror on stage. I mean, could it be described as a horror or a thriller? Is there a difference?
There's definitely some scares. We've definitely had a few people audibly scream, which is very interesting and funny. But you know, my part that I really enjoy about it is the way that Michael, who plays the monster, it portrays the monster. is so, for me, it's just so beautiful and so human, and I think you get this relationship with him that I don't really think you've seen before in other versions of the story, and it comes down to it. It's terrifying, but in a way that it makes you think, and that's almost more terrifying than the little jumpy moments in the story. But yeah, you definitely should come expecting to have a few little
Wear a nappy.
yeah, well, maybe.
Eilidh, it's been a treat to speak to you. Thanks ever so much for that.
Thanks so much for chatting to me. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, definitely on the 27th, and I think we're all getting press passes on the 27th. So
all right.
I'll pop over and say hello.
See you then.
Marvellous.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much.
You take care of yourself.
Yeah, likewise.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
So there you have it. That's Eilidh Lone, who is playing the part of Mary Shelley in Rona Munro's brand new adaptation of Frankenstein. Touring the country at this present time, but we'll be stopping off at Theatr Clwyd on Monday the 27th of January, here for just 1 week, playing until the 1st of Feb. For tickets, box office number 01352 344 101. That's 01352 344 101, or indeed theatreclwyd.com on the author webpage. Of course it is. Frankenstein coming to Theatr Clwyd proves to be a wee belter, I'll tell you that for nothing. Support your local theatres, ladies and gentlemen. You know they will not be there forever if you don't.